All right, everybody. So I'm just going to run through the game for the water cycle. This video will allow you to kind of view some of the things about the water cycle and complete the assignment. So I'll read it out loud as I go through this. And so it says, "Hi, welcome to the water cycle. Today we will be learning more about our Earth's hydrosphere and the importance of the water cycle." All right. It also states that the hydrosphere is the liquid water component of the Earth. Right. So remember that we should be writing things down in that document as they are presented in the game. All right. So here's one of your answers. I'm going to leave that here for now. You can pause the video whenever. I'm going to move on. All right. The hydrosphere includes Earth's water in liquid, solid, and gas form, including the water in the atmosphere, oceans, rivers, lakes, glaciers, soils, and groundwater. And so pay attention to these pictures and where they're placing them. All right, we have the gaseous forms of water up here, the liquid forms of water here, and some of our frozen forms there. All right, so in here we have the whole hydrosphere. This is all of Earth's water. And we have the three forms of water: liquid, ice, and gas. And so we're just going to click and drag. All right, this is a glacier. Right, and then we have our atmosphere here. We have some fog, right? And then we have our liquid forms. All right, we have some water in the ground. We have our oceans. We have some fresh water, and then some more fresh water, right? Match the form of water with the places where that form of water can be found. We did that successfully. Ooh. Here's the arrow. Did you know that 97% of Earth's water is salt water? Right? 97% of Earth's water is salt water. Right? Only 3% of Earth's water is fresh water. Right? So this is the things that we actively consume. Just think about that. 97% salt, 3% fresh. How the heck does that happen? 3% fresh water is what we consume as the human population. It is unsafe to consume salt water. All right, so here's that memory game, right? And this does have a role to play in your notes, and so I'll go a little slow, all right? But here we go, all right? That's the atmosphere, and that's the glacier, okay? Let's remember those. Fresh water, lake, atmosphere, and atmosphere. Awesome, all right. The atmosphere contains only a small, a small fraction of fresh water. Sorry, I just had lunch. All right, we'll move forward. We got those correct. Groundwater is a new one. I'm not sure if you saw that. I think this is right here. Nope. But this and this. Nope. This and this. Nope. Oh, this is going to be fun. Mr. O'Connor plays a matching game. All right. Here we have a stream. All right, Earth's streams contains only a small percentage of fresh water. All right, this is the glacier, and then this is the, nope, that means this and that. Yep, groundwater contains only 30% of fresh water. Absolutely. All right, there we have this and this. Nope, this and this. Yep, wetlands only contain a small percentage of fresh water. Remember, you have to record 2 of these in your notes. Lakes contain only a small fraction of fresh water as well. And then we have our glaciers. Glaciers contain most of the fresh water, over 68%. This is really cool because when water freezes, let's say ocean water freezes, the ice that forms has no salt in it. And so you can pick up a block of ice and then kind of melt that down. There's going to be no salt in that. And if there was, it was just salt crystals that were on the outside, all right? But the ice crystals that form on the inside have no salt. All right, Earth's water cycle involves the process by which water circulates between the oceans, atmosphere, land, and living organisms. All right, so here we have the graphic. All right, click on the screen to start the game. All right, it looks like our water cycle is missing important parts. Use the slingshot and water balloons to complete the image. All right, so this is a little bit of an interactive game. All right, we're gonna try to break these balloons. All right, see if I can fill up this. Um, all right, again, I wish you guys could actually play. This is actually a little bit more difficult than it may seem. All right, but we need to get enough water out of these balloons and pails to fill it up. All right, looks like our water cycle is missing important parts. Use the slingshot and water balloons. All right, the water cycle is dependent upon the flow of energy from the sun. Drag and drop the sun into the highlighted area. All right, so we're going to drag and drop this here. Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down and evaporate that water. All right, in the water cycle, water is constantly changing between three phases: liquid water, water vapor, and ice. A process in which liquid water becomes into water vapor is called evaporation. All right, so the sun drives that evaporation. All right, so match the correct process with the illustration. All right, we have a half cup of water going to about a fourth cup water. All right, is that evaporation, transpiration, or perspiration? All right, because we are losing water, right, and it's just in a glass, we're going to say evaporation, and that is correct. Click the screen to start the game. Our water cycle is still missing one piece. Use the slingshot and water balloons to hit the white cloud on the left side of the screen. All right, so we are going to hit the clouds. Oh, wait, it's the one that's, oops. There we go. All right, we got to get this cloud full of water, right, because I'm sure now that we are loading this cloud up with water, we are going to see that it expands. All right, slowly but surely, it will start to rain. The process in which water vapor changes into liquid water is called condensation. Condensation occurs because water vapor cools down. Fog appears as a result of condensation. Ding, 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 ding. All right, we have a question in that worksheet about fog. And so fog appears as a result of condensation. All right, here that is. All right, moving on. All right, match the process, correct process with the illustration. So we have a quarter cup water, and then we have some obvious water droplets on the outside of it. This must be condensation, just like our iced coffees for Dunkin' Donuts and such. The outside of those get wet after we leave it out for a little bit, and that's condensation too. All right, so if enough water condensates and droplets get big and heavy, they start falling as rain, snow, or falling ice. That process is called precipitation, right? Any form of water falling from the clouds to the ground is a form of precipitation, right? Rain, snow, hail, sleet. If you're a postal worker, it doesn't matter which one's falling from the sky, you still got to go to work. All right. Plants absorb liquid water through their roots and then release water vapor through their leaves. That process is called transpiration. And so we have that as a process, all right, that's noted in our notes, all right? Match the different images with the given process that are included in the water cycle. For transpiration, reading on the right, we have some leaves, all right, with some water droplets on them, all right? Transpiration is a process hosted by plants. For the precipitation, these are things falling from the sky. So we're going to put the rain symbol there. Evaporation, this is things that are kind of changing from a liquid water state to a gaseous water state driven by the sun. So we're going to put this here. Boom, well done. All right. In the water cycle, runoff is liquid water that flows across the surface of the land into a body of water. The main force that drives the water cycle by affecting precipitation and runoff is gravity. All right, we all know gravity. I could pick up anything and let go of it, and that will fall assuredly to the ground or to the table, whatever is beneath it. And so water falls from the clouds to the ground. That follows gravity, just like runoff of liquid water. All right, notice that the water is flowing down from the mountain and into the sea. This is because gravity pulls the water down the mountain and hills. Water will always move downward because of gravity. All right, so we have tall mountains. All right, just like we would fall down a mountain if we lost our footing. All right, when water forms like a trickle or a stream, all right, there's a snow cap that's being melted. All right, that will form up and turn into mountain runoff. All right, a land area which produces runoff that drains to a common point is called a watershed. The way water moves in regional watersheds is influenced by the way the land is shaped, which is called topography. Right? The lay of the land matters. All right, considering gravity, water is always going to flow down. Right, it's never going to flow uphill. You might also notice that there is a small pond of water or a lake. If water can't keep moving downhill, it may get trapped and begin to collect. Water will still move down though. All right, so this is that whole example. If there's kind of all hills and stuff causing a low point, all right, water will collect there and form a body of water like a pond or lake. Groundwater is liquid water that has sunk through the soil in the ground and travels through cracks between the rocks underground. The process by which liquid water is absorbed into the ground is called infiltration. Right? So over here underneath that lake, we have the runoff forming that lake, and then underneath it, it'll seep into the ground like a big old sponge, and it'll form this kind of aquifer. All right, and that too will follow gravity and eventually find its way to let out into the ocean. All right, but infiltration, all right, the process by which liquid water is absorbed into the ground. All right, use the slingshot and snowballs to hit the rain cloud on the left side of the screen. All right, so I'm gonna load them up with some snowballs. We missed. All right, we hit it. We hit it again. Calculations. All right. We did it. All right, you finished the water cycle. Snow is a special kind of precipitation in which liquid water changes to ice. That process is called crystallization. All right, when water forms those crystals, it looks like snowflakes. If it's just like one water droplet turning into a crystal, it looks like a snowflake. All right, but if there's many water droplets around each other and it crystallizes, it'll form like a solid cube of ice or sheet of ice. All right, and then we have liquid water in a glass changing to some ice, and that would be crystallization. All right, well done. Match different images with the given process that are included in the water cycle. We have condensation. All right, this is when water droplets will form. This is how fog forms. And so I think the only thing that says fog would be this. Crystallization. All right, we're going to freeze that grass. All right, that's those little ice crystals. Infiltration. All right, we have this groundwater. All right, that'll go right into the ground. All right, yay, we won. Now we have the knowledge that will help you learn even more. All right, so that was the water cycle game. All right, so you have this video to play and pause and such. All right, you can move front and back with that. All right, you guys should be all set for that assignment. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any questions, email me. All right, but hopefully this was a easily understood thing to keep track of. All right, I'm going to stop presenting my screen. I'm going to sign off. All right, see you later, guys.